What do angels eat? Well, this is a quite interesting, and you can also say kind of philosophical question from a user.
I hear some say Gedula instead of Gedula. Which is correct?
There's no such thing as white magic, black magic, or gray. It simply is, and the user imposes anything else onto it.
What can you achieve doing that ritual? Do you gain access to the inner realities?
Hello and welcome to our new video series. We are going to answer some of your questions in this series, which you put under our videos. And today we are here together with me. I am East.
Hi, I'm Christo.
Hi, I'm Miley.
Hello, I am Andrea.
So, and we are here together for answering 4 of your questions, which we have selected, and I will start with the first question. And this is a question from a video. It is a German version of the video, Angels and Archangels. And this question was, how do angels feed? Do they eat light? What do angels eat? Well, this is a quite interesting, and you can also say kind of philosophical question from a user, since angels are not human and of course exist on a different plane. So to explain it, the system of the 4 planes is important here to get an idea to answer this question. So the archangels are assigned to the spiritual level, where our higher self and our true will is located. For example, also our guardian spirit is a manifestation of this higher self. But archangels have, or are, you can say they are a pure principle. They have a specific task to perform for which they were created by God himself. So besides angels or archangels also, there are also angels, and they exist also on another level and are a part of the world of formation and have a, you can say, similar principle. So of course, angels don't have to eat and drink like we do. They exist without eating, without drinking. And angels are in general the servants of God. They are the pure emanation of God. If you would like to know more about the higher self, for example, or also about the 4 planes, which explains it a bit more in detail, you can have a look in our video description. We will link our video, Follow Your Higher Self, and the 4 planes there, so you can have perhaps a better understanding of this.
So we had another question about under our video about the Kabbalistic cross. And the question was, I hear some say Gedula instead of Gedula. Which is correct? So the proper words are Gedula and for the right shoulder or arm, and Gedula for the left arm or shoulder. So they refer to the assigned Sephirot, Gevurah and Chesed. So Gedula is another name for the Sephirah Chesed, and as you recognized maybe, Gevurah and not Geburah, as it is often wrongly pronounced out of insufficient knowledge of the Hebrew pronunciation. Although the letter is called Bet, it is pronounced V as in vegetable, and the term Vegebula is not used at all. To me, it sounds like a mix-up and result of whisper down the lane from people who didn't have the proper text, but it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, thank you, Miley. So I will continue, I guess. And I continue with a comment that was under our video on black and white magic. And the statement is by Bentley's backwoods bushcraft, and he writes, "There's no such thing as white magic, black magic, or gray. It simply is, and the user imposes anything else onto it." Yeah, we hear this quite often, and some people contradict themselves right away by reasoning as follows. First, they say there is no white, black, or gray magic, there's only magic. Second, if one causes evil or unethical results with magic and restricts the free will of others, then it's black magic. And if one effects good, ethical things and puts the divine will above their own will, then it is white magic. So if one uses magic thoughtlessly and does not care about the consequences, then it's gray magic. So third, there is white, black, and gray magic. So the conclusion can be if it's very important what we want to achieve with magic and what the consequences thereof are, because we are responsible for it. The second part is, he writes, there is no such thing as right or wrong. Again, these terms and ideas are interpretations and are social concepts built into our society, and they're people to maintain control. So yes, indeed, right and wrong are on the one hand, indeed, man-made concepts, but on the other hand, there's also a higher principle behind it. Man-made concepts can unfortunately also be abused, yes. And unfortunately, this does happen, no matter if it's by individuals, religions, or governments, and such an abuse is unethical, of course. But to set up rules and to have concepts for coexistence is typically human, and even anarchists set up rules because they strive for order. At the same time, basically all humans feel in their souls something like a sense of justice and a sense of right or wrong. And this might suggest that there is a higher principle of right and wrong. And indeed there is. In the Jewish tradition, there is the law of heaven. It's called the Din HaShamayim in Hebrew. This is a divine law, meaning that it is right in the divine sense and corresponds to the highest possible ethics. And opposed to this is man-made law. Ideally, the two are identical. But in the non-ideal world that we live in, man-made law often deviates from divine law. And whether human laws are just or not, and whether they correspond to divine justice, we have to examine for ourselves and compare them against our own values and our own sense of justice, and then decide what we want, how we want to act in a given situation. And so this brings us back to our spiritual sense of justice and our own choice. So do we want to orient ourselves towards white magic and ethical behavior, that is towards higher and lightful principles? Or do we want to be part of the problems in the world? So we have to make our choice. And in our free Kabbalah online course, there are several lesson texts in which we look more closely at ethics and the law of heaven, because these are very important topics. And our viewer, Bentley, he seems to think in the same way if we look at the end of his comment. So yeah, it's a good thing to live a happy, loving life and act in an ethical and good manner. So yeah, thanks for the comment.
And thanks for commenting the comment, Andrea, and explaining it that well. Okay, so our last question was about the ritual of the pentagram. So the person asked, it was a German question, what can you achieve doing that ritual? Do you gain access to the inner realities? So basically the ritual of the pentagram, which we present here, is a classical ritual which was presented the first time this way by the Golden Dawn. And it's mainly to, or how I can put this, you can put it like this, it's an opening. It's like an opening a door. The ritual of the pentagram is used at the beginning and at the end of a ritual, or variations of it. And it depends on the purpose, what you want to achieve with that ritual. You can, of course, use the pentagram ritual for practical purposes, or open before meditation and close, of course, after it. And the purpose of opening is to let in, or invite, so to say, forces into yourself or into the room. This little ritual, if you use it before a ritual, you open the gates for the forces, and you want to invoke. And after it, you need to thank the forces again, of course, and let them go. And of course, if you don't want anything in to let in else, you need to close it again after your work is done. Yeah. And these were our 4 questions, and I hope you liked our new format. And if you have any more questions to us, we are really glad to read them in the comments. Feel free to ask any questions, whatever you like. We will answer them in our next video if you choose so. And don't forget, please, to like our video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe and activate the bell. We will be very happy to see you again the next time. So,
Yes. See you soon.
see you soon.
Soon.
Bye.
See you.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye.